everybody. Welcome to the Kiki D Show.
All right, guys, real quick. I'm back. It's been a minute, one half of Couples in Cash, and you're going to see a lot of material coming out on a daily basis. My wife and I ran into a few hiccups where we really had to focus on her health, and I decided to work with her on that. So for the last 4 months, or the last 3 months and 2 weeks, we've been focusing on creating a schedule that's conducive to us having the best. We were working on creating a schedule that was conducive to us having a balanced lifestyle, where health was at the forefront of that. So we had to, the goal was to get through 3 months, and to drill down on that schedule, we had to omit the podcasting for a while, because it takes a lot more work than I anticipated, and just to kind of get down on something that was difficult for us, which was getting ourselves on a proper schedule. And I felt that to make that stick, I needed to do it for 3 months and not focus on the podcast for now. So we're back. So I'm going to be giving you guys tips throughout the day. A lot of times during my day, I take in a lot of calls. I think when my wife checks my phone record, it's about 16 to 18,000 minutes I do on the phone on a monthly basis. I would like to get that down. I really don't want to be on the phone that long, even though I am a talker. But I need to get that down to where I'm having primarily productive conversations and not just filler conversations or conversations that aren't necessarily productive during my green time. So you might ask, what is green time? Green time is the time where I'm most, where my opportunity cost is at its highest. That's like during the guts of the day, where I may have applicants calling, I may have important emails coming in that I have to answer. I'm able to talk to clients about doing loans for them, which is my greatest revenue generator currently. So I will have to stay on top of those types of things. But with that said, we're going to be pushing out content on a daily basis. You'll see a lot of them in reels like this throughout the day. I'm going to set a goal for a number of reels I want to do per day, and then I'll give my wife a goal. Of course, she'll participate in creating that goal so she can be attached to it. But the goal is me to get her to start, consistently posting up reels as well, because she has a great deal of value. She just don't like to talk as much as I do. So, but she has a substantial amount of value. She is, she manages a great deal when it comes to the amount of management necessary for our portfolio. So let's get into it really quick. Got a call today from a gentleman. The gentleman is 69 years old, and he can't answer the basic questions. Okay, you guys want to be mindful of being in the know. I don't mind people not knowing. I don't necessarily judge you, so to speak, but in some cases, I will say this: you gotta know your stuff. Okay, if your money is out of sight, out of mind, it's not at the forefront of your mind, you would be out of money. And at 69, he really didn't have a good handle as to anything as it relates to his finances. And what I mean by handle is, I mean, you should know how much your rent is. If you don't know how much you pay in rent, therein lies a problem. So though you may have someone assisting you, you need to know. It's sort of like when you go to college and they want you to take basic accounting. It isn't for you to be fluent and proficient at being an accountant, but it's so that you can at least have enough information to know the basics, the fundamentals. This way you can choose a proper accountant. You can check behind your accountant on the basics. You'll know good questions to ask your accountant. You have some understanding of the conversations that you have with your accountant. If you have some basic knowledge of the fundamentals, you don't have to be an expert. Same thing with your finances. You may not necessarily be the one spearheading your finances, but you better know what the hell is going on. So it should not be a situation where you don't know jack and your wife knows everything about your finances. You are crazy as hell. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. I'm no longer with these podcasts. Another thing too, I want to dress everything up for you, because some things have to come with a little sting to it. Again, some things you got to come with a little bit of sting to it. Not everything can be put in a way that's all nice and fluffy, make you feel good about it. No, you should not be you should not have rent but not know how much the rent is to the penny. That's weird. If you don't know how much money you have left over after you pay all your bills, including gas and groceries, that's weird. If you don't know approximately how much is in your 401k, that's weird. If you don't know how much it's going to take for you to get your kids through school, your portion, that's weird. Okay, so there are some things that you need to know. And it's important that you know. Some people say, oh, young, like, I don't hear it. When I joined the Army, I budgeted myself out for 30 years. You think I stuck to that exact budget for 30 years? No. But the habit was there up front. And that was instilled in me by my grandmother, who never got past the 3rd grade. So missed me with the educational thing, okay? She didn't get past 3rd damn grade. She owned real estate. She taught me that credit was good, because a lot of that stuff is really common sense. It's just that it's not as common anymore. Just because it's not common don't mean your ass is not supposed to know it. You're still supposed to know it, and it's still weird that you don't, okay? So know your affairs. It's 2023. We're coming into the 2nd quarter, completing the 2nd quarter. We're going to end up in here, get on to June soon. So start knowing your stuff, okay? Know how much you're paying rent. If you receive military disability, know how much you receive in military disability. Just getting your paycheck, because here's the thing. If you don't know how much your rent is, you don't know how much your Social Security income is, you don't know how much you have in your account, you don't know how much you approximately have in your retirement, you don't know any of these things, that means that it's very likely that you don't know if you're on pace to have sufficient retirement upon retirement age. And if you hadn't done all this, you probably don't even have a designated retirement age for yourself. You're probably just letting the world tell you when you retire and just default to 65 or 67. See, you don't have a plan for yourself. You're simply going to be a part of someone else's plan. It may work out for you, it may not. I don't have a problem with being a part of someone else's plan. I know I'm a part of the plan of the ownership of the company I represent on my W-2. However, I just make certain that what I do is in line with that plan, because that's how I maintain my value. But I have to make certain that my goals are in that same line. So the course of action that it takes me to be successful in my business at work needs to be conducive to my success in my own personal financial goals, my own personal goals for my family, my own personal life goals. They must be in line with each other. So Couples in Cash is all about showing people really how to work with each other as couples to get the most out of it. Two can sow 10,000 for a reason, but you have to move as a unit. There's no problem with your wife spearheading logistics of the household, if that is the type of household you have, or vice versa. But the other party needs to know what in the hell is going on intimately. They might not necessarily, I don't necessarily go in the bank and move money around, but they might know what money is being moved around and how much. Okay, I may not necessarily transfer from my money market to a closing attorney when I'm buying an investment product, but I know how much is being transferred. Okay, I know how that affects my long-term saving goals. I know how it affects my short-term saving goals. I know the intimate details of my finances, even though 80-90% of the logistics are done by my wife, because I spend more time creating W-2 income to help fuel our business. So there's no problem with having roles where maybe the spouse or your daughter or someone else that may be more competent in executing on those logistics for you. That's not a problem. But you need to know what the hell is going on. Okay? Stop not knowing how much you get paid by the hour. Stop not knowing what's this. Stop not knowing. Not knowing is immature. It's juvenile. You have to know. Okay? So I'm not pressing anyone like, oh, you're an idiot. No. I just think sometimes people are lazy in two ways. One, they're intellectually lazy. They don't want to think things through all the way. They just want to skip to making a decision. That's lazy. And then some people don't want to take the time after they worked all day and dealt with their job and their boss and their subordinates, their customers, their, just being in the office all day, sitting in one spot, or standing up all day, or doing the same routine all day. Whatever it is, you're probably exhausted, but you better make time. Because at the end of the day, when you get older, you do not want to be at the mercy of people being feeling sorry for you and coming up with some sort of program to help you. You don't want to be at that mercy. You don't want to be at that mercy. It's a civilized society. The country tends to help. It's elderly. It's service members. It's poor, and it's fools. You don't necessarily want to be banking on the society helping you because you've been a fool, and that's not cool. that rhymes. So start knowing your stuff. If you don't know now, don't sit here and feel all hurt by it. Just sit down and say, okay, well, what did the brother say I need to know? You need to know how much your expenses are that are going outside of your house as an adult. You need to know how much revenue is coming in your house as an adult. It doesn't matter if you and your spouse keep things separate as it relates to the income, the liabilities being split. She pays this and you pay that. That's not a problem. But you need to know how that weights with her income. So if you're making $100,000 a year, she's making $200,000 a year, she's paying a higher weighted average of the bills, that's no problem. But you still both need to be mindful as to what each party is doing for retirement. Why? You're still married. When you show up at retirement age, if the other party didn't do what they're supposed to do, what you gonna do? Let them starve? You're gonna have to kick in. So it's best you stay on each other as well, even if you're splitting things, to know that each party is being responsible financially, so that when you two arrive at retirement, you don't arrive at retirement depending on the mercy of other people in society to pick up your slack. You don't want that, okay? Now, if you can't help it, there's a disability or there's some circumstance that was drawn for you that was what we would consider lending an extenuating circumstance out of your control, then as as citizens, that's what we do. But also as citizens, we need to try our best to not be a burden. So let's try that. If you need some help, shoot me a comment or something like that. We'd be happy to help.
Hello, my name is Kiana Hughes, daughter of D. Hughes, aka Wolf Knows VA Loans, at Mortgage Solutions Financial, home of the No Minimum Credit Score VA loan. You heard that right, no minimum credit score. If you or anyone you know is an active duty service member or a veteran, you are eligible for a no minimum credit score VA loan. So please get in contact with my dad, D. Hughes, at 919-946-0423 and apply online at www.valoansbywolf.com.